RiverBender.com's live coverage of today's game is brought to you by Roberts Ford, the value store since 1949. Tom Lane State Farm, your good neighbor agent in the Riverbend. Andy's Auto Body, tire and auto service and sales. First Mid-America Credit Union, exceeding member expectations since 1934. Auto Centers Nissan, home of the Wiggity Way. Gerard Fisher, American Family Insurance, all your protection under one roof. Roper's Regal Beagle, the Metro East premier sports bar and grill. Liberty Bank. Bank locally, bank Liberty. Auto Butler Car Wash and Express Lube. Clean, shine, and protect. Alton Sports Tap. Sports, food, and good times. Ruderman Plumbing. Your locally owned plumbing superheroes.
Our left, the Explorers in white jerseys, white pants, the silver helmets, and the blue trim. The Oilers in their maroon jerseys, their gold pants, and their maroon helmets. And we are set for action. Liam Maher, the run-up and the kick, and it's a short kick taken by one of the up men at the 20 for the Oilers. Out to the 25 to about the 29-yard line goes the return man, and I believe that was Drayton Doherty. And so the Oilers will start 1st and 10, just shy of their own 30-yard line. We'll call it the 28.
I think it was Harvey Hall, and it was a short kick, and one of the upbacks took it, and I think Harvey Hall was the Explorer on the tackle, stopped him in his tracks, and drove him back towards the sideline.
The Explorers' lone victory of the season thus far came on the road up in Kincaid against South Fork. They're 1-1 on the road, 0-2 at home. The Oilers playing just their second home game. The Oiler quarterback is Luke Wells, a 5'11", 180-pound junior. He sets the team. It's a single wing to the right side, and the give is to the tailback, Doherty. And he is stacked up after a short gain. He might have gotten one, maybe got nothing, and he was brought down right at the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Tight formation for the Oilers. Looks like the Explorers are in a 5 to 6 man front again. I did see prior to the game that the Oilers also have a spread formation. So, but looks like they're coming out in tight formation again. Full house, just about a full house backfield.
2nd and 10 Oilers from their own 28-yard line. And here is some misdirection, but that fools nobody. And Doherty with the carry once again, and he loses a yard, about a half yard back to the 27.5, and it's going to be 3rd, and we'll still call it 10.
Yeah, those sophomore tackles, James King and Marshall Youngblood, both in there on the tackle that time.
So the Oilers facing 3rd and 10, the first possession of the football game. They go with a wing to the right, double tight end set, and here is Wells back to throw, lets it go over the middle, incomplete. And it's going to be a punting situation for the Oilers, who got nothing going on that opening possession.
It was a play action pass. The motion came here, the quarterback reversed out. On 3rd and 10, play action isn't going to fool too many people.
Well, and you don't have a whole lot of options when you're running double tight. And so now back in punting formation, Justin Engler for the Oilers. Danny Holt stands back at his own 30-yard line awaiting this kick. The Explorers stack it at the line of scrimmage, and they may be going after this kick, and Engler gets it away. It's a short kick. And now some contact at the 40 and a flag. Holtz finally picks it up at his own 35 and takes it out to about the 46-yard line. But I think an Explorer blocker may have hit an Oiler in the back before Holtz ever picked the ball up.
He did. That ball almost hit that Explorer, the blocker also.
Well, that's something that you've got to be aware of because the Explorers came with an all-out rush, and Engler had to hurry the kick, and so it was not a booming kick. And the Explorer tried to put a block on and instead got him in the back, and as you said, John, it almost hit him on top of that. So the Explorers, after the penalty walk-off, will start 1st and 10 from their own 30.
Well, and the back has got to help that blocker out a little bit and be screaming, get out of the way, get out of the way.
So the Explorers come out with their spread offense, a pair of receivers to each side of the field. Trey Aguirre in the shotgun, takes a low snap, sprints to his right, lets it go downfield. He's got Harvey Howell out at the 35 to the 40. Howell down the right sideline to the 40, one man to beat, and he is bumped out of bounds all the way down at the Oiler 29-yard line. Just a little swing pass out to the right side, and it goes for 40 yards from the 30 to the 30.
It was a little rollout by Aguirre, and he had Holtz deep open also, and Howell made a good catch. He was covered, and he made a good catch, and boy, and then Holtz put a nice block downfield, and he got good, great yardage.
Aguirre rolled to his right and found Howell over there on the right sideline, and down the sideline he went. Now the Explorers empty backfield, trips to the right, two more receivers to the left. Aguirre, quick pass out to the left side, and they tried to run a slip screen out there to Holtz with Jesse Simmons out in front of him, and the mesh wasn't there between Aguirre and Holtz. I think Aguirre thought Holtz was going to go out. Instead, he came back behind the other receiver. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, they're trying to get the ball in Holtz's hands, which I agree with. Wood River covered that pretty well also out there. They had pretty good coverage.
2nd down and 10 for the Explorers at the Oiler 30-yard line. Early first quarter action, we're scoreless. Again, empty backfield. Aguirre takes the snap, looks deep down the left side for Holtz at the 5. He's got it, and bumped out of bounds at the 2-yard line. There was some pushing back and forth between receiver and defender, and I thought maybe Holtz might be flagged for offensive interference, but no flag at all, and it goes for a 28-yard gain down to the 2-yard line on a beautifully thrown ball.
It was kind of a fade over the inside shoulder is what it was to Holtz, and Aguirre just laid it out, and Holtz ran under it. The Explorers have 1st and goal at the 3.
On the first down play, Brock Terry in the backfield with Trey Aguirre, and it's going to be Aguirre following Terry into the end zone for the touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run by Trey Aguirre. He went in untouched, and boy, wouldn't have that looked good in the last minute of last week's game.
I was just thinking 1st and goal from the 4 last week with 3 chances at it, but the Explorers get a 3 and out, and with just over a little bit over 2 minutes, they've taken a 6-0 lead here.
And that may be a candidate for our QualityGMCars.com drive of the game, a 70-yard touchdown drive by the Explorers on what I believe was 4 plays. And now as the Explorers line it up for the extra point attempt, they're a man short. That score came with, I think that's 8:49. And now Liam Maher's extra point attempt is up and just barely over the crossbar, but it's good. 9:49 remaining in the first quarter. The score, Marquette 7, the East Alton-Wood River Oilers nothing. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.
It's the final play of the game. Down by 4, Andes will need to score to win it. The quarterback lines up, ball is snapped. It's a handoff. He breaks outside of the tackle. He's got daylight. He could go all the way. Touchdown! Andes wins.
You too can score a touchdown at Andes Auto Sales.
Check out the all-star lineup at Andes Auto Sales today.
Sam Stam back at Memorial Stadium in Wood River, where Marquette holds an early 7-0 lead, and Liam Maher booms one down to the 8, and the Oilers will return from there. Out across the 20 to the 25, breaking a tackle or two all the way out to the 34-yard line, goes number 6 for the Oilers, Zach Womack. And the Explorers on their first possession of the game went 70 yards in 4 plays. The 2 big plays being pass completions from Aguirre to Howell for 40 yards, and Aguirre to Holtz for 28 yards, and then Aguirre a 3-yard touchdown run to cap off that 70-yard drive, and the Explorers have the early lead. The Oilers now with receivers left and right, and here's a pitch back, and they try to sweep the left side, and a little running room over there before Danny Holtz runs Zach Womack out of bounds after a gain of perhaps 2.
Yeah, they tried a little toss sweep. They split receivers out, and they used the great big kid from Wood River, 6'8", 340, out at wide receiver as like an offensive tackle almost.
2nd down. Well, we'll call it a gain of 3 for Womack. And it's 2nd and 7 Oilers from their own 37-yard line. And here is the give to the fullback up the middle, and good running room, and he's going to be out close to a first down, although just a bit shy.
That was a good push up front by the Oilers. They went on a quick count and caught the Explorers napping a little bit, and 3rd and short.
On the carry, I believe it was Zach Kincaid. And he picked up 6, and it's going to be 3rd and 1 Oilers. Just outside their own 43-yard line. Now they go double tight with a wing to the right. And here is the give to the fullback. And he's got first down yardage and then some as he crosses midfield. A gain of 7 on that carry. I believe it was Kincaid once again. And the Oilers' first down of the night.
Well, those are the same type plays they ran the first series and didn't do anything, so it looks like the Oilers have made some adjustments up front, and the Explorers are back on their heels a little bit.
8:23 and counting remaining in the first quarter. Marquette leading 7-0 here in the early going. Now the Oilers send receivers left and right, a wing to the right, and here is a pitch back, and trying to sweep the right side is Zach Womack, but that one goes nowhere. And the first Explorer up to meet him was number 12, Brady McAfee. McAfee, a sophomore linebacker, has distinguished himself at times from that linebacker position, and he threw the ball carrier for a 4-yard loss.
McAfee's a good football player, and he's a youngster. He's he's a 6'1", 170-pound 10th grader, and we'll be saying his name a lot, I think, the next 3 years, this year and the next 2.
2nd and 14 Oilers from their own 47-yard line, and now the officials stop the clock and the Oilers want a timeout. It comes with 7:34 remaining first quarter. It's the Explorers 7, the Oilers nothing. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.
All right, sir, we finished all the services on your car. They'll take it over for your complimentary car wash, and they'll call you when it's ready.
Oilers throw a slant to the right side, and they complete it out to the 40-yard line. A gain of 13. It's going to be 3rd and 1, making the reception Joel Bisk on a nice throw by the quarterback, Lucas Wells.
It was a very good throw. The Explorer inside linebackers were slow to get to those hook zones, and the Explorer linebacker 54, Chris Angleton, one more step, and he might have had a pick 6.
3rd and less than a yard for the Oilers at the Marquette 40-yard line. They send a receiver to the left. Another wide right. And on the quarterback sneak, Wells is going to pick up the first down as he keeps the legs turning and takes it down to the Explorer 35-yard line. A gain of 5 on the sneak by Wells, and their second first down of this drive, second of the night.
They got a huge push right there. Of course, they're tackle to tackle, and then they add 2 backs into that mix also. And those defensive linemen, their job is to stay low and just clog it up so those linebackers can make the tackles.
We're approaching the midway mark of the first quarter. Marquette leading 7-0, but the Oilers on the march. 1st and 10 at the Explorer 35-yard line. They try to run a counter, and the ball is fumbled, and a big pile up right at the 30-yard line. And the officials down on their knees trying to unstack them to see who's on that football. So the battle isn't over yet. And the Explorers have recovered. The first turnover of the night, an Oiler fumble.
They tried to run it, looked like that little trap in there of some sort, and the Explorers stood one of the Oiler linemen up, and there was confusion in there, and the ball ended up on the ground.
So Marquette leading 7-0. Starts 1st and 10 this time from its own 36-yard line. On their first possession, they went 70 yards in 4 plays. Marquette sends Holtz and Simmons wide to the left side. Howell and Maher wide to the right. And here's the give to Brock Terry right up the middle, and Terry picks up a couple out to the 39-yard line. We'll call it a gain of 2.
Explorers were in that wide formation with one setback, and they gave it to Terry right up the gut, and there was initial good push.
Well, so far tonight, the Explorers have not lined up in that wedge formation. On that play, Terry was standing next to Aguirre, actually a step behind him as Aguirre was in the pistol, and he had a head of steam when he hit the line of scrimmage. Same formation here, and now a quick pass out to the right side. Howell is open at the 40, and Aguirre just overshoots him by about one step. That was going to be a touchdown if Howell could run under it.
Well, if you scouted the Explorers at all, you know that they're going to pay more attention to Holtz than Howell. And Howell's got good speed, long strides, and they'll come back to that again. He had time to throw. They're facing a 3rd and 8 now, and they need to convert this.
The Explorers at their own 39-yard line, leading 7-0. And they'll send Simmons and Howell along with Holtz. Trips to the right side. Terry in the backfield with Aguirre, who lines up in the pistol. He takes the snap, drops the throw, lets it go over the middle, and Brady McAfee was there. Actually, the Explorers had 2 receivers, both Jesse Simmons and Brady McAfee, and there was only one Oiler defender, but nobody caught it.
And they were all open. And the Explorers sent about, or the Oilers sent about 7 men and had some pressure, but the pressure, Aguirre just missed it.
Well, and anytime you see that, 2 receivers that close together, something wasn't quite right. So now Liam Maher will stand in punt formation back at his own 23-yard line. The Oilers don't send anybody back deep. And Maher gets the kick away. It's going to hit at the 25, bound down to the 20, and take an Oiler hop there, and the Explorers will down it right at the 20-yard line. And the Oilers, trailing 7-0, will take over. They were moving the football in their last possession until they fumbled at about the Marquette 30-yard line.
They were. They had a nice drive going, and be interesting to see how they respond now. They got a 3-and-out on the Explorers after the Explorers scored in 4 plays and 70 yards in the first drive.
Well, I haven't had a chance to describe the one of the wideouts for the Oilers, Anthony Lane, 6'8", 340, and he's a wide receiver. I think you just need to throw it up, don't you?
You do. The other thing is they're using him as, when they go wide, as an extra blocker out there. So
he doesn't have a lot of speed. Here's a screen pass and a big hit by the Explorers. Number 52, Riley Bamper, just buried the Zach Womack, who caught that screen pass. And the Oilers are going to be fortunate that they only lose a yard on that play.
It was a middle screen. The linemen stepped up, let their guys go through, but Bamper did what he was supposed to do. He was keying on that one back, and then the back caught it, and nobody picked up Bamper, because had they blocked Bamper, it would have been a long gain.
Instead, a loss of a yard, 2nd and 11 Oilers from their own, just inside their own 20-yard line. And Wells back to throw, lets it go over the middle. He's got his man. That's the big man, number 99, Anthony Lane, 6'8", 340. He went up and brought it down, was tackled immediately, but a gain of 12 on that play and another first down for the Oilers.
Well, they did exactly what we thought they would do, is just throw the ball up in the air. The Explorers might be wise with him is to bump and run with him, because he's not going to run by him. And then if he can't get into those patterns, then because by the time he takes a step around the defender to get off the line of scrimmage, it would be difficult to get to him. 1st and 10
Oilers from their own 33. Now Womack trying to sweep to right side, and that time it's Brady McAfee who says hello and welcome and throws him for about a 5-yard loss.
Well, McAfee's name again, they've tried to go wide to this side, and this was the wide side of the field. And McAfee not only boxed that in, but he drove the ball carrier to the ground and sets up a 2nd and about 15 now.
Womack now 3 carries for -6 yards.
Well, you know, they may have a halfback pass too, because when they set those up, when they keep running those wide things, they may pull the ball down and throw it.
Receivers left and right. Lucas Wells under center, drops to throw, looks out to the left side, a little swing pass out there to Womack. And Womack has a couple of yards out to the 30. A gain of about 2 on that carry, but it's still going to be 3rd and 13 for the Oilers.
Holtz made the tackle on the back came out of the backfield, and it was a little safety valve pass, and Holtz made a good open field tackle.
So the Oilers, who have 3 first downs in this game, to just 2 for the Explorers. The Oilers facing 3rd and long here. Joel Fisk wide to the right side. Anthony Lane wide left, wing to the right as well. And Wells drops to throw, a heavy pressure. And Brady McAfee sacks him all the way back at the 15-yard line. The Explorers sent a couple of linebackers, and they had heavy pressure. Wells tried to run away from it. They'll give him forward progress to the 12, but a loss of about, well, it's not the 12, it's the 17. They'll put it actually out at the 20. So it was a loss of 10 on the sack.
Well, they only had 3 receivers out. 2 were deep, and 1 was in the flat over here, and so they didn't have time to get anything off.
Justin Engler to punt, and he angles it here towards the near sideline, trying to prevent a return. And on the short kick, the ball bounces out of bounds at the Oiler 44-yard line, so about a 24-yard punt. And the Explorers will start with their best field position of the night, 1st and 10 at the Oiler 44-yard line. 2:03 remaining in the first quarter. Marquette with a 7-0 lead. The Explorers went 70 yards on 4 plays on their first possession. Went 3 and out on their second possession. And now the Explorers send trips to the right side. They've got a tight end to the left, and Brock Terry's in the backfield with Aguirre, who operates from the pistol. Aguirre, 3-step drop, launches it deep down the right sideline, intended for Holtz. Holtz gets all turned around and can't bring it down. It goes off his fingertips at the 20, but a flag is thrown right there as well. And that could be interference against the Oilers, I guess.
Well, it looked like the Oiler didn't go for the ball at all. He was just waving his hands in front of Holtz's face and face guarding him, and so that's pass interference in high school.
Holtz turned one way, then the other, and actually was running backwards when the ball got to him, and he went high and tried to, got his fingertips on it. And it is interference against the Oilers. That's their first penalty of the night. That's a 15-yard walk-off from the line of scrimmage. It gives Marquette a first down, 1st and 10. For Marquette, just inside the 30 of the Oilers. Marquette with a 7-0 lead as we play late here in the first quarter. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Terry in the backfield with Aguirre, and here's the give to Brock Terry. Big hole right up the middle. Brock Terry had to make a move to miss the umpire, and then finally is brought down at the 20-yard line after a gain of 9. It'll be 2nd and short for the Explorers.
Well, it's good to see a burst of a running game because they'll need that running game before this football season's over, for sure. And the umpire did a nice job, really. He was a shield in there. The Oilers are playing with a 5-man line. It looks like about a 53, a 5-3.
2nd and 1 Explorers at the Oiler 20. And here is Aguirre after faking the handoff to Terry, keeps it himself. Kind of a quarterback counter there. He faked to Terry one way and took it the other way himself. And he picked up 5 and another Marquette first down.
It was a good run by Aguirre. It was a companion play to the one before. He faked the ball to Terry, and then he pulled it out and got the first down.
Now 5 first downs for the Explorers here in the first quarter. They lead at 7-0 as we're inside of 1 minute remaining. 1st and 10 Marquette at the Oiler 15-yard line. Aguirre takes a snap, looks to his left, tries to run a slant to Holtz, or actually it was Jesse Simmons, and missed him. And Simmons paid the price. You may as well catch it because he got a hit, even though he didn't catch it. 2nd and 10.
Well, the hit was almost late, too. I mean, it's those receivers are unprotected as they go through there, but the pass wasn't close to being completed for sure. And the Explorers now have 2nd and 10, and right on the 15-yard line.
Aguirre, after hitting on his first 2 pass attempts, has gone 0 for 4 since then. Howell wide to the right, Holtz and Simmons wide left. Aguirre in the pistol with Terry behind him. They run the option to the right side. He pitches it to Terry, and Terry loses his footing and stumbles down at the 10-yard line after a gain of 5.
Sam, that might have been counted as a forward pass.
I was about to say that. I think it was more of a forward pass than a pitch because Terry got in front of Aguirre, and so the mesh wasn't quite right there. A gain of 4, it's going to be 3rd and 6.
Well, that time the Oilers had about 8 people in the box. Now there's 7 people in the box, and they're playing man-to-man coverage in the secondary, it looks like.
3rd and 6, Marquette at the Oiler 10. Aguirre back to throw. Let's go over the middle. He's got Holtz for a touchdown. Danny Holtz actually had Jesse Simmons wide open in the end zone, but threw it to the left side to Holtz. Holtz made the catch with an Oiler on him and then just stepped across the goal line for the 10-yard touchdown reception from Trey Aguirre, and the Explorers go up 2.
It was a crossing pattern, and I thought he was throwing to the underneath guy when he let it go, and good reception by Holtz. Only 3.6 seconds left in the first quarter.
And now Liam Maher will attempt the extra point out of the hold of Trey Aguirre. The kick is up high, long, and it's good. And with 3 seconds remaining in the first quarter, the score now, Marquette 14, the Oilers nothing. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.
In the market for a new Nissan? Go no further than Auto Centers Nissan in Wood River, the #1 volume Nissan dealer in the Midwest. Auto Centers always has a huge selection, and every new Nissan is backed by Auto Centers' exclusive low price guarantee, 30-day return, and lifetime powertrain warranty. Auto Centers also has a gigantic pre-owned inventory, and regardless of any credit problems, Auto Centers will get you approved. So be wiggity wise and hurry into Auto Centers Nissan, Highway 255 and 143 in Wood River, Illinois. AutoCentersNissan.com.
Marquette with a 14-0 lead, and Ryan Maher kicks it away. And the Oiler deep man knocks it down, picks it up at the 10, takes it out across the 15 to the 20, and he is hogtied right there and brought down. He lost the football. The football came loose, and the Explorers have recovered at the Oiler 10-yard line. It was James Fuchsia on the return, and he tried to do a little jitterbugging out there. Now the officials talk it over. They could have easily blown the play dead on forward progress, but they hadn't. The ball came loose. The Explorers recovered it. So when the second quarter returns, Marquette will be in the red zone, leading 14-0. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.
Set, hit. Protection. Can anyone over there give me protection? Danny Holt. Put me in, coach. I can offer protection. Set, hit. Not only can I protect the quarterback, I can protect your dreams. Call me, Gerard Fisher, 466-7062.
American Family Insurance.
And as we begin the second quarter, Marquette leads at 14-0, and the Explorers have it 1st and 10 at the Oiler 10, and a quick swing pass out to the left side to Jesse Simmons does not connect. It'll be 2nd and, I believe it's 2nd and goal. I think the football is just inside the 10.
It is. There's no chains up, just the box on the other side. Have to go back. That tackle was Harry Howell down here on the kickoff coverage, and he chased the back down and would not let go. And then a couple other Explorers jumped in there, and the ball popped loose. And had I been the Explorers coach, I would have been wanting a early whistle because his motion had stopped, I'd say.
2nd down and goal, Explorers at the Oiler 10, and now a flag is thrown, and I think the Oilers have too many on the field. As the back judge is counting,
F12.
It is illegal participation, and so somebody will have to come off. They'll walk off half the distance to the goal line. It'll be 2nd and goal, Explorers at the 5.
You can get by with that in a rainy, misty game down in the mud, but out in the wide open, the back judge was counting, and so it's half the distance to the goal line. 2nd and 5 now.
Marquette leading 14-0, and they send trips to the left side. Howell, the lone receiver, to the right side. Terry in the backfield behind Aguirre, who's in the pistol formation. Trey Aguirre looks to his left. Slant is dropped at the goal line by Jesse Simmons. The throw just a little bit low, but Simmons, I'm sure, will tell you he should have caught that. And now it's going to be 3rd and goal.
It's a catchable ball for sure, and there was not much traffic in the middle in there, and so Third and goal from the 5. Let's see what the Explorers do here.
The Explorers lost last week at home to Nokomis. And they're trying to right the ship here. That was their first ever Prairie State Conference loss. Trips left, another receiver to the right. Third and goal, Marquette at the 5. Aguirre takes the snap, hands it to Brock Terry, and he is hit and brought down for a loss on the play. He never got back to the line of scrimmage as that Oiler interior line was ready in there. And they buried Brock Terry as soon as he took the handoff. The first to hit him for the Oilers was Darian McLemore.
It was a good defensive play by the Oilers inside there. They did a nice job. It looks like the Explorers are lining up for a field goal.
They'll put the football down at the 16-yard line. It'll be a 26-yard attempt right down the middle of the field to make it a 3-possession game for the Explorers. Trey Aguirre will hold. Liam Maher will make the attempt, and now we've got movement up front. Did the Oilers jump into the neutral zone, or did the Explorers move first? And it's going to be procedure against the Explorers, and now it'll be a 31-yard try.
And I would say that's probably somewhere in the vicinity of Maher's range, I would think, 31 to 35 from watching him kick.
Well, they're going to put it right on the 20 now, so it'll be a 30-yard attempt. Aguirre will hold. Liam Maher, the sophomore, will put it up. The snap, the spot, the kick, it's up. It's plenty long, and it's good. It went over the scoreboard. That would have been good from 50.
So much for what the old coach knows here about range. It was, he nailed that ball.
A 30-yard field goal for Liam Maher, and the Explorers' lead is now 17-0 over the Oilers with 10:43 to play in the second quarter. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.
We're always looking for better ways to do things, but with some banks, better for them isn't always better for you.
You've reached Megabank. Press 1 to hear your current balance. Press 2 to hear these options again.
Introducing free Kasasa checking. When you do stuff for us, like swipe your debit card or get e-statements, we make it even better for you with cash back and refunds on ATM fees. Kasasa, carried locally at Liberty Bank. Do you, Kasasa?
Well, no, it won't. Goes into the end zone, so no return by the Oilers. 1st and 10, East Alton-Wood River from their own 20-yard line. And so the Oilers, who fell behind 7-0 early, then put a nice drive together, only to turn the football over, have now committed 2 turnovers in this game, and those turnovers have led to 10 Marquette points.
They have, and I was, as I sit here, I'm thinking this is the key drive probably in the game now. If the Explorers stop them now and go back in, and then things are going to roll. However, if the Oilers can move the ball down the field and get on the board before half, then it's still a competitive game. This is an important drive for East Alton-Wood River.
Early second quarter, Marquette has a 17-0 lead. Lucas Wells brings his team to the line of scrimmage. Takes a high snap, spins to his right. He wanted to throw, but now he just tries to get back to the line of scrimmage as the Explorers were on him quickly. And Wells is thrown for about a 4-yard loss.
There's good penetration from both defensive ends. Number 50 for the Explorers, Sion Donovan, and then also McAfee were in there. It's the first pattern I saw with the Oilers had 4 receivers out that time.
Second, we'll call it 13 Oilers from their own 17-yard line. They send 2 receivers to each side of the field. Wells, who had earlier worked under center, now working in the shotgun and gives the handoff to his running back. I believe that's Zach Womack, and he picks up a yard, maybe 2 on the carry, but it's going to be another 3rd and long for the Oilers. It wasn't Womack on the carry. It was Doherty that time. And Doherty picked up 2. And now it's 3rd and 11 Oilers from their own 19-yard line.
And the Explorers substitute on these 3rd and longs. They take out a couple of the bigger defensive linemen and bring in a couple of smaller guys. Let's see if they send the linebackers again this time.
The Oilers send trips left, another receiver to the right. They put a man in motion to the right side, and there are whistles and flags. Every official on the field threw a flag. They all saw it. And his procedure against the Oilers. their third penalty of the night. And so 3rd and 12 becomes 3rd and 17.
It was a left tackle that jumped that time. The Oilers had trips to the left, to their left, and brought one of those backs back in motion across the field, and the left tackle jumped.
So again, they send trips left, another receiver right. Wells in the pistol formation. Puts a man in motion to the right side, and the flag is thrown once again. This will be a motion penalty against the Oilers, but the Explorers will decline it as they sack Wells all the way back at the 10-yard line. It was a motion penalty against the Oilers. They had 2 men in motion. So even if something good had happened for them there.
There was a good play by Marquette freshman James Malone, number 60. He contained very well and delivered a big hit. Holtz back to receive the punt.
So now it's about 4th and 22 for the Oilers. All the way back at their own 10-yard line. And now the Oilers want a timeout. It comes with 8:59 remaining in the first half. It's Marquette 17, the Oilers nothing. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.
Red or black, silver or gold, new or used. At First Mid-America Credit Union, they know options are important to you. That's why they've made relationships with local dealerships where you'll receive all the extras with First Mid-America Credit Union's low rates and financing done on the spot. All you have to do is decide what you want. Your car, our loans, they're made for each other. www.1stmidamerica.org or call 618-258-3168 to speak to a representative.
Here facing 4th and 22 from their own 10-yard line. Justin Engler gets the snap and gets the kick away. It bounces once and it's taken by Danny Holtz at the Oiler 43. Right up the middle he goes. Holtz still on his feet down to the 30 and finally stacked up there. And again, a slow whistle, so those ball carriers better hang on because they're not, just because their forward progress has stopped, the officials are not blowing the whistle.
The Explorers are going to take over on the, it looks like the 30-yard line of the Oilers. We talked about that particular series being a big series, and the Oilers went backwards, and now let's see what the Explorers come up with here.
Be sure to stay tuned. Following the game, we'll name the Munganast Alton Toyota Player of the Game. The Explorers with a 17-0 lead and the football. Harvey Howell wide right. Holtz wide left, a wing to the right. And the direct snap to the fullback, Brock Terry. And for the first time tonight, they run that wedge play. And it's good for short yardage, perhaps down to the 27-yard line. Now they're going to put it at the 26. A gain of about 3.
Well, that's the first time we've seen that, and we didn't miss it, but they got good push that time, and give the Explorers credit. And if they continue to get that push up front inside, then they'll have an opportunity to get outside also.
2nd and 7, Explorers at the Oiler 27-yard line. Trips to the right, another receiver to the left. Terry in the backfield with Aguirre. Back to throw. Aguirre launches it deep down the left side. He's got his man. It's a touchdown for the Explorers. Touchdown Marquette. It's Danny Holtz on a 26-yard touchdown strike from Trey Aguirre.
That's Holtz's 3rd touchdown reception of the game. A perfect throw. The coverage wasn't bad. And, if you get that ball close to Holtz, he's going to catch it.
And it adds to the Explorer lead. It comes with 7:59 remaining here in the second quarter. And most of this second quarter, Marquette has operated from very good field position. And now, Liam Maher will attempt to add point number 24. And he does, right down the middle. It's good. 7:59 remaining first half. It's the Explorers 24, the Oilers nothing. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.
One of the greatest myths about car dealers is that some pay less for their cars than others. Hi, I'm John Roberts, and we all pay the same. Here at Roberts Motors, we can compete with any Ford dealer, regardless of how big they are or how great they say their deals are. The number one concern of anyone buying a car today is service. At Roberts Motors, we pride ourselves in exceptional service before, after, and during the sale. Stop in today and see why Roberts has been the home of happy customers since 1949. Or see us online at riverBender.com.
We'll name our quality GMCars.com drive of the game following the game. Liam Mayer to kick it away again. And the Oiler up man drops it at the 15, picks it back up, and still on his feet out across the 25 to the 30-yard line goes Drayton Doherty. And Doherty finally run out of bounds at about the 31-yard line, and the Oilers will start 1st and 10 right there. Well, sometimes, you know, when things get tough and you're struggling to get a win and you're young and you're trying to build some momentum, and one thing goes bad, it just seems to mushroom, and that's kind of what's happened to the Oilers here tonight.
Well, I don't care if it's the Oilers or anybody else. Winning breeds winning. Success breeds success. You know, with a young team like both these teams, it's hard to practice because the kids you have behind the regulars are so young that they can't give you a good look on practice, and so it's hard to dig your way out of a big hole.
Now the Oilers go double tight, double wing formation. And Wells turns, gives it to his fullback, and he's stacked up after a short gain. On the carry, it was Zach Kincaid, and Kincaid picked up 2.
Well, that was a different formation that time. We had not seen the double tight, double wing, and that's normally a formation where you get some misdirection also, and then maybe they're thinking that we'll bring some misdirection back against Marquette because the Explorers are pursuing to the ball pretty well.
It almost looks like here offensively that they say, let's just go back to basics. And now a pitch back, and here is Womack trying to sweep the right side, but he can't turn that right corner. There's Brady McAfee once again up from his linebacker position to throw Womack for a loss back to the 30-yard line, a loss of 3.
McAfee's played well in every game. He also has some offensive talent. He's very fast. We saw that touchdown that he ran last week. And so we've got a 3rd and 10, obvious passing situation for Wood River, and let's see if the Explorers send pressure again this time.
Down to 6:40 remaining in the first half. Marquette with a 24-0 lead. Civic Memorial and Waterloo follows this one from the Valley. Back to throw. Wells, it's hit as he lets it go, and was it intercepted by the Explorers? No. It hit the ground, and they say it was a forward pass. As Wells went to throw, the ball popped out, and an Explorer defender made a diving attempt. They say no, he didn't catch it, and they said it was a forward pass, so it's simply an incompletion. And now the Oilers once again will have to punt. Justin Engler. And I'll tell you what, Wells has completed 4 of 6, but he's had the intent to throw many more times than that. He's been under a lot of pressure, sacked a couple of times. That time he was hurried, leading to the incomplete pass. Engler gets a good snap and gets the kick away, and Danny Holtz will return from his 45 out across midfield, looking for the right sideline, to the 40, to the 35, blocker out in front, to the 25, and finally brought down all the way down at the Oiler 22-yard line, but there is a flag on the play, and it lies right there at about the 22 or 23-yard line. And I think the blocker that Holtz had out in front tried to make a block and instead held. Well, and he didn't hold well because
kid made the tackle.
The kid made the tackle anyway.
Well, I think what he called was a block in the back, and yeah, that's what he called. And actually, the defender really turned because he was trying to go get but he did hit him in the back. It was the appropriate call, and the Explorers will now start on the 33 of the Oilers.
So the Explorers again, even after the penalty, with very good field position. 1st and 10 at the Oiler 23-yard line. Marquette already leading 24-0. And boy, the Explorers have had the best of it in field position, due in part to the fine punt returns by Holtz. Marquette has trips to the left, a tight end to the right. Aguirre takes a snap, 3-step drop, looking out to the left side, and tried to complete it to Simmons, who peeled off underneath out there, and the mesh just wasn't quite there.
No, it really wasn't. Simmons was open. He just let him a little bit too much. Aguirre's getting rid of that ball pretty quickly and without much pressure from the Oilers.
6:03 remaining in the first half. Marquette with a 24-0 lead. It was 14-0 at the end of one quarter. Marquette has added 10 more here in the second quarter. And they face 2nd and 10 at the Oiler 33-yard line. Again, trips to the left side, which is the wide side of the field. McAfee, a tight end to the right. Aguirre back to throw, looking down the middle. I think he was looking for McAfee, and he was covered. Now Aguirre scrambling to his left. Finally lets it go downfield and just threw it away. He threw it out of bounds. A good decision there by the junior quarterback just to not take the loss.
It was a good decision. He outran that contained man, but he was going to his left and had to try to throw back right. The Explorers have a 3rd and 10.
I thought he had trips to the left, but he was looking more down the middle of the field, and I think that's where his tight end Brady McAfee was. And apparently Aguirre didn't find him open. Now Marquette 2 receivers left, 2 more to the right. Terry in the backfield with Aguirre on 3rd and 10 at the Oiler 33-yard line. Back to throw Aguirre, looking downfield. Now he wants to take off with it. He motions for Howell to go downfield, and he hits him down at about the 13-yard line where Howell has run out of bounds. So a little bit of improvisation there. Oh, they're going to say
he was out of bounds.
He was out of bounds. I thought he had a foot in. But they're a lot closer than I am.
As Aguirre was scrambling to his right, Howell continued his movement down there, and it was a nice touch pass. Howell just happened to come down with 1 foot out of bounds. The Explorers will go for it here for sure.
If you're thinking field goal, it would be a 50-yard attempt. Of course, the way Maher hit that 30-yarder, it would have been good from 50. But the Explorers figure on 4th and 10 at the Oiler 33. Their best bet is to leave the offense on the field, which they do. Howell wide right, 3 more receivers to the left. And now it's delay of game against the Explorers. 5-yard walk-off. So what was 3rd and 10 is now 3rd and 15.
You know, with the 25-second clocks on the field in a lot of stadiums now, that's usually somebody's responsibility on the sideline when that gets close, because somebody on the sideline can call the timeouts now, and so that makes this a big chore here. And if the Oilers hold, they're going to have a really good field position.
3rd and 15, Explorers at the Oiler 38. Receivers left and right, a wing to the right. Terry in the backfield, and it was actually Maher in the backfield, and they snapped it directly to Maher, who does, in effect, a quick kick. It was blocked by the Oilers at the line of scrimmage, but a positive bounce for the Explorers as it did get through the line of scrimmage and finally rolled out of bounds at the 20. So actually only about an 18-yard kick, but
it served its purpose. Actually, I believe that ball hit the top of one of the Oilers' helmets is what it did. And it would have been interesting to see, had that ball stayed in bounds, the Explorers could have fallen on that ball down there.
So now the Oilers, who have just 3 first downs, and 2 of those came on a drive that was rather impressive, and now the give to the fullback. And right up the middle goes Zach Kincaid, and he picks up a couple out to about the 23-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 8 right there.
Well, it was that basic dive play up between the left guard and left tackle. Got maybe 2 yards on it.
We'll name a QualityGMCars.com. QualityGMCars.com drive of the game so far. The Explorers 4-play 70-yard touchdown drive on their first possession. Stands to have that honor now. Womack trying to sweep the right side. He loses the football. A big pile up, and the Explorers have recovered at the Oiler 21-yard line. It's East Alton-Wood River's 3rd lost fumble here in the first quarter.
Well, credit Brady McAfee with the hit. They were trying to run wide again, and not only he caused the deflection, caused the fumble, and the Explorers fell on it, and they have the ball at the Oiler 20-yard line.
They put it down at the 21, and Danny Holtz and Jesse Simmons go to the left side. Harvey Howell wide right. Brock Terry in the backfield. Aguirre sets up in the pistol formation. On the first down play, once again, the Explorers deep in Oiler territory to start the possession. Terry shifts from the right to the left, and Aguirre keeps it himself after faking a handoff. Lots of running room to the left side. Trey Aguirre inside the 10 and bumped out of bounds down near the 5-yard line. He faked a handoff to Terry to the right side and then ran a counter to the left and picked up 14 yards all the way down to the 6-yard line.
It's a basic read play. I presume they're reading that, and when Terry was covered, Aguirre pulled it out. He had a lead blocker in front of him, too. He put his hand on him, and the blocker took him right through the line of scrimmage. First and goal for the Explorers.
The 8th first down of the night for Marquette. First and goal at the Oilers' 6. Trips left, Howell, the lone receiver to the right. Back to throw Aguirre, looking for Howell on a slant, and it's incomplete. Howell had gotten inside the defender, but they got their legs tangled up just a little bit, and Howell couldn't quite get to the pass as he sprinted into the end zone.
Tried to hit him with that quick post, and Howell had the inside. The ball was out ahead of him, though, and I don't think he'd have had it, Sam, if he would have not got his feet tangled up.
Second down and goal, Marquette at the Oilers' 6-yard line. Marquette leading 24-0 as we play with 4:32 remaining in the first half. Again, trips to the left. That's the short side. Howell, the lone receiver, to the right. Terry in the backfield with Aguirre. Long count. Back to throw. Aguirre launches it deep into the corner of the end zone for a Howell, and a nice defensive play by the Oilers, Justin Engler, to break it up in that back corner of the end zone.
It was a great defensive play by that young man, and it was a good call. That's the wide side of the field. Howell's got significant size on that defender, and the youngster, I thought he was going to interfere because he had his back to the ball, but when Howell looked back, so did the defender, and he put his hand up and knocked it down. Third and goal.
At the Oilers' 6-yard line. Again, they stay with the same formation. Trips left. Now it's just two receivers to the left, and they've got McAfee as a tight end on the right. Give it to Brock Terry right at the middle, and he just rumbles into the end zone. A 6-yard touchdown run by Brock Terry, and nobody laid a hand on him.
No, he went right through. It was that basic dive play between over the right guard, between the right guard and the right tackle, the old 6-hole back in the day, and the Explorers increased their lead to 30-0.
And it's all Marquette here in the first half tonight, still with 4:19 remaining. Liam Maher with the extra point attempt. Out of the hold of Trey Aguirre. They line it up. Snap to spot the kick. Up high, long and good. Oh, for a couple of those last week.
No comment.
No comment. That's point number 31 on the night for the Explorers, and with 4:19 remaining till halftime, it's Marquette 31, East Alton-Wood River nothing. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.
Dad, the toilet's clogged again.
Rooterman to the rescue. We'll clean any drain, anytime, anywhere. Rooterman is your locally owned and operated plumbing and drain cleaning company. We're friendly, fast, and reliable. Rooterman takes the extra steps to protect your home while providing stellar 24-hour emergency superhero service with hometown pricing. So for plumbing repairs, drain cleaning, water heaters, filtration systems, or just when your house pipes are in trouble, call Rooterman.
Here's Sam Stem back at Memorial Stadium in Wood River. Marquette with a 31-0 lead late first half. And here's a line drive kick by Liam Maher, knocked down by one of the up men. And now he tries to run out to the left side, and he's brought down at his own 29-yard line. And that was a young man that looked like he didn't really know what to do with the football.
Yeah, he looked. He did a good job covering it because you got to cover it there. And then,
well, he's a freshman.
That's exactly right.
Tyler Hamby. Yep. So he's one of the up men there on the kick return team, and the ball came right to him. He knocked it down and picked it up, and then you could almost see it going through his mind. What do I do now? Nobody ever told me about running the football.
I see our old friend Steve Porter down on the sideline covering the game tonight. Steve's been doing coverage of high school football and high school sports for many years for the Telegraph.
So you really do mean old friend.
I do mean old friend.
Yeah. Oh, high snap over the head of Wells. He goes back and covers it at his own 10. That's going to be a loss of 19 on the snap that went right over his head. Well, they're going to say he actually covered it at the 12, so a loss of only 17.
Yeah, that ball, it wasn't catchable. He might have got a little bit of his hand on, but it was really high, and now they're faced with 2nd and 27. Look for maybe a screen pass here.
Well, it's what we touched on earlier. Once things start going downhill, they just seem to mushroom. A bad snap, a bad kick, turnover. Now Wells' quick pass out to the right side, and the Explorer defensive line is just teeing off. And they're going to say that's an incomplete forward pass. It was knocked down as Wells threw it, and the Explorers kept playing, saying, well, maybe that was not a forward pass. Maybe it was a lateral. But the officials say, no, it was a forward pass, and now it's going to be 3rd and 27.
The white hat, the referee, looked immediately to the side judge here because he had the angle at it, though. The white hat can't see whether that's forward or not, and the side judge here did a nice job of calling that immediately.
And now a timeout on the field. The Oilers use their 3rd and final timeout, facing 3rd and 27 deep in their own territory. 31-0, Marquette leads the Oilers. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.
Roper's Regal Beagle, located on Godfrey Road, is the Metro East premier sports bar and grill. Open Sunday through Thursday till 2 a.m. and Fridays and Saturdays till 3 a.m. At Roper's Regal Beagle, you will enjoy some of the area's best pizza from their wood-fired pizza oven. There's also a full kitchen offering a huge variety, as well as a soup and salad bar. Sports fans, Roper's Regal Beagle is the place to watch the game. 27 TVs, NFL ticket, Big Ten, Pac-12, and streaming local high school sports.
On 3rd and 12, the Oilers quarterback. No, that wasn't the quarterback. That was Engler, Justin Engler. And a gain of a couple. Well, he just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain. And now it's 4th and 27 for the Oilers.
And that's a tough spot. That's a young freshman there carrying the ball in the varsity football game, and that's a tough deal.
So now another punting situation for the Oilers, and that's Justin Engler back there deep in punt formation, stands at his own 3-yard line. High snap. He did a good job to bring it down, and he gets a nice kick away. And Jesse Simmons will make a fair catch at the Oiler 42-yard line. And the Explorer offense back out onto the field once again in Oiler territory. Well, Marquette's first 2 possessions started deep in their own territory. But ever since then, every possession after that, thanks to turnovers and the fact that Marquette has had some nice punt returns, every possession but the first 2 have started in Oiler territory, and that really puts your defense back on its heels.
Well, it does. And you know, the second series of the game, after Marquette scored, Wood River had a nice drive going, but they've had 3 turnovers, and all of those turnovers, I believe, have been turned into points.
They have 17 points following the turnovers. Marquette sends trips right, another receiver left. Aguirre in a pistol formation with Terry Bassant behind him. Aguirre rolls to his right, feels some pressure, steps around it. Now he's going to take off and run down to the 40, but a flag is thrown into Marquette backfield. And even though Aguirre gained a couple 3 yards, it's a hold against Marquette, 10 yards from the spot of the foul, and it'll be 1st and long for the Explorers.
Well, Aguirre was scrambling. I couldn't see who he was looking for, but that's a couple times that's happened, so you have to credit the Wood River defense. He also had pursuit out there by the defensive end from Wood River, from the Oilers.
Well, here's what I think if you're Marquette you have to be concerned about. You've got a big lead, 31-0. Now you don't want to get out there and start getting sloppy, start improvising, start taking penalties, because this has been Marquette's best offensive effort of the season, and you want to build on that. You want to continue to look crisp.
Bad habits will continue if you allow them to. The best way to avoid that, though, is to run the football, because that's the least amount of issues you can have with things like that.
Trips left, Howell to the right. 1st and about 20 for the Explorers, and they pitch it back to Terry, and he does run to the right side. Brock Terry, big head of steam down the right sideline, all the way down to the Oiler 30-yard line, and he picks up the first down. 23 yards on the carry. First down, Marquette.
They ran the speed option to the short side of the field towards the Oiler bench, and the defensive end took Aguirre. He pitched it to Terry, and Terry rambled. Give credit to Harry Holly. Had a good lead block in front of Terry.
The clock rolling with 1:45 remaining in the half. Marquette, with a 31-0 lead, has it 1st and 10 at the Oiler 29-yard line. Now Marquette sets up in a tight formation. And the direct snap to Brady McAfee, who runs to the left side. Aguirre was out in front of him to throw a block, and Brady McAfee picks up nearly 5 on that carry. Officially, we'll call it a gain of 4.
Unbalanced line left for the Explorers, and if I wasn't giving away my age, I'd say that looked like a single wing play to me. Tailback.
What's that?
A single wing.
2nd and 6. I'm not that much younger than you. I remember it too. Here's Aguirre. Keeps it himself. Aguirre, first down yardage, and then some down the left sideline. Nice move inside the 10. Still on his feet, and he's in for the touchdown. And then a flag is thrown after the play. And I don't know if somebody hit Danny Holtz over here on the sideline. Something happened behind the play, but it's a 25-yard touchdown run by Trey Aguirre. A brilliant run as he tiptoed down that left sideline, put a couple moves on. And now we'll see what the penalty's all about. It had nothing to do with the play. It's something that happened behind the play. It is a touchdown, Marquette, a personal foul against the Oilers. All I know is when I saw the flag fly, I looked over and Danny Holtz was on the ground over out of bounds. And I didn't see anybody around him, but somebody must have put him on the ground out of bounds over there.
They did, and you know, it was so far behind the play that it was obvious, and it was the referee trailing the play that made the call, and they'll mark it off on the kickoff. Sam, while I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, you know, for years and years ago, there was a tremendous amount of athletes that came from Wood River, St. Boniface, St. Kevin's, and went to Marquette, starting with guys like Larry Bellum, who was one of the best all-around athletes that Marquette ever had in the 60s.
Now, Liam Mayer with another extra point attempt, and he bangs it through, I think. Yeah, no, he missed it. Missed it wide left. So the kick no good, and the score remains the Explorers 37, the Oilers nothing. Remember, following the game, we will name our Munganast Alton Toyota Player of the Game. Marquette with a 37-0 lead. Game 2 of our broadcast doubleheader tonight features Mississippi Valley Conference action as the Civic Memorial Eagles entertain the Waterloo Bulldogs. And then we've got more action for you tomorrow on the radio as well. At 11 o'clock, it's Sports Talk. Brent Birkeland in with scores, highlights, coaches, interviews, and more. At noon, Southwestern Conference action, play-by-play coverage of tonight's game featuring the Alton Redbirds as they host the Granite City Warriors. Game 2 from the South Central Conference. The Roxana Shells on the road at Greenville. That about 2:15 tomorrow afternoon. And then tomorrow night, Big Ten action. 8 o'clock the kickoff, 7 o'clock the pregame. Illinois at Nebraska. So another busy weekend of football coverage for you right here on WBGZ Alton. We're in the final minute.
They didn't mark that penalty, did they?
No, they sure didn't. I think they forgot. Oh, now they just remembered. Somebody reminded them. I'm sure it was somebody over there on the far sideline say, hey, what about the penalty? It's probably a non-factor. Oh, wait, no. Yeah. It's a non-factor from the standpoint that Mayher will probably boom this one into the end zone. The Oilers will start from their own 20. Well, I doubt Marquette's going to do anything funny with a 37-0 lead.
Well, I don't think so, and frankly, the Oilers probably just want to get these 45 seconds through without turning the ball over again and get in and try to regroup a little bit, and then try to make some progress in the third period. Set a simple goal. Maybe try to get them 3 and out, and make. I don't believe the Explorers have punted all night.
Yeah, they have.
Did they one time?
On their second possession, they punted, but that was the only time. And now Maher does boot it out of the end zone, and the Oilers will start 1st and 10 from their own 20. .45 seconds remaining. Yeah, that was the one point where the Oilers had a little bit of momentum. Marquette had scored on his first possession to go up 7-0. The Oilers on their first possession had gone 3 and out. And then after Marquette punted back to the Oilers put together a nice drive that ended with a fumble down at about the Marquette 30-yard line. And since then, it's been all Marquette. So the Oilers, with 45 seconds remaining in the half, turn, and it's just a straight-ahead handoff to Doherty. And the Explorers trying to rip the football loose. Say, well, okay. It wasn't Doherty that time. It was Zach Womack. And Womack back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Well, that's probably, unless the Oilers want to run another play, looks like they're going to run another play with about 20 seconds to go in the half.
Well, they don't have to, and now I think they won't. They're just going to let the final 10 seconds tick off and go to the locker room and try and regroup. At the half, it's the Marquette Explorers 37, the East Alton-Wood River Oilers nothing. We'll be back in just a moment. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.
Sports, food, and good times. That's what you'll find at Alton Sports Tap. With our daily specials and the best wings around, no game day is complete without us. Between our main bar, enclosed and outdoor patios, you won't know where to begin your evening. Alton Sports Tap has a spacious banquet center offering plenty of space to host any event and the food to make it great. Whether you stop by to catch a game, grab dinner, or enjoy our new live gaming, Sports Tap has got you covered.
gentlemen, the Oiler Pride Band would like to thank the Alumni Foundation for their donation to the purchase of their new drum line. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Thanks to the East Alton-Wood River Foundation. Great job, Oiler Pride Marching Band. Keep it going, guys.
In today's economy, everyone's looking for an encouraging sign. That's exactly what you'll find right here at my State Farm office in Bethalto. I'm Tom Lane, and for 86 years, State Farm agents like me have been helping you protect the things that matter most. That's why more people trust State Farm, and why we consider that a very good sign.
Call Tom Lane State Farm office in Bethalto at 377-8912 or go to tomlaneagency.net.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Sam Stem along with John Waters back in Wood River. And I misspoke before the break. The Explorers get the first possession of the second half. Marquette with a 37-0 lead. So if the Explorers were to score again, other than a safety, they'd have a 40-plus point lead. And the clock would roll for the remainder of the half. And usually in a game like this, everybody's rooting for that. Even the team that's behind sometimes says, you know what, maybe we just need to get out of here. Here's Brock Terry from his own 20, out across the 30 to the 35, and he's hard to bring down. Keeps the legs churning out to the 37-yard line. 1st and 10, Marquette right there. And I'm sure one of the things Coach Booker told his offense at halftime is like, hey, let's get out there and let's just march right down the field and put an exclamation point on this. And that'll get the clock running, and our defense will take care of the rest.
Well, I'm sure that he wants to stay on pace. You know, I've been on both sides of this, not very often on the downside, but on the other side. And it's also an opportunity to make sure you get some kids in the game, although the Explorers don't have many extra skill kids.
Trips left, another receiver right. Terry in the backfield with Aguirre, who operates from the pistol. And here's the give to Brock Terry right up the middle. Big hole. Brock Terry to midfield, and he takes it all the way down to the Oiler 44-yard line. Well, it was Liam Maher that time instead of Terry. And Liam Maher has his first carry of the night. And a big gain on that play.
Yeah, Maher shot through there really quickly. And a big gain, and Explorers have the ball inside Oiler territory again.
A 21-yard pickup for Liam Maher on that carry. 1st and 10 at the Oiler 44-yard line. Trips left. They stay with a spread formation. And again, it's Maher in the backfield with Aguirre. And again, it's Maher. No, Aguirre kept it himself as he bellied it to Maher and then took it back. And he got back to the line of scrimmage and may have gained a foot, but no more. 2nd down and 10 for the Explorers.
Yeah, it was the same belly play, a little bit wider that time with Mayhair. Now Terry comes back into the game. Mayhair goes to the sidelines.
Aguirre gets a workout every night because on every play he goes to the Explorer sideline and gets the next play. So he runs over there and runs back. That's a lot of running.
It is a lot of running.
The only time I go that distance is to the refrigerator and back. Back to throw, Aguirre, oh! And it was nearly picked off. It was nearly a pick six for the Oilers. Hunter Hall would like to have that one back. It was right in his hands at his own 48-yard line, and there was nothing but green grass between him and the end zone, and he very well may have looked up just a little bit too soon.
He did, because, and he's a freshman playing back there, and so what an opportunity that was for that young lad.
Hunter Hall, 6'2", 150. He'll see that one in his dreams tonight. So Terry in the backfield. The Explorers run from the spread once again. Aguirre, 3-step drop over the middle, and he had Howell open down at about the 25-yard line and undershot him. And now the Explorers will have to send the punting team on there. Maybe. They may not. Although Mayhair's usually in the lineup anyway, and he's the punter. So,
well, maybe they may use the quick kick again also.
So now Mayhair checks in. Danny Holtz started, and now they're switching personnel, and now it is going to be the punt team, and Mayhair will set up back inside his own 40-yard line awaiting this snap. So the Explorers, after getting a first down, misfire on a couple of passes, and they'll have to punt.
I think the Explorers had to call a timeout. They were down one. They only had 10 players on the field, and so they took a timeout.
Well, they seemed confused from the beginning, or indecisive about what they wanted to do. So it is a Marquette timeout. It comes with 10:26 remaining in the third quarter. The Explorers 37, the Oilers nothing. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.
If you have car problems, Andy's has the solution. Customer service is priority number one. Our dedicated staff will be more than helpful in getting your car back on the road while you relax in our comfortable waiting area. If needed, we'll also make arrangements for a rental. Our experienced ASC certified technicians will walk you through every step of the process. Andy's Tire and Auto Service offers every under-the-hood service you need. Visit one of our 4 convenient locations today.
Mayhair couldn't field the snap cleanly, had to pick it up off the turf and then kicked it quickly and kicked it all the way over onto the track here on the near side. So now they're trying to figure out exactly where it went out of bounds, and they'll say it was at the Oiler 30. And East Alton-Wood River's offense takes over for the first time in the second half right there.
Well, they got the stop they wanted to, and stopped the Explorers. The Explorers had a good burst on their first play, and then after that they got them 3 and out.
On the first down play, the pitch back, and here's Doherty trying to sweep the right side. Doherty broke a tackle and takes it out to the 35-yard line, a gain of nearly 5 on that carry.
Yeah, that was the old just an inside toss sweep. They didn't run it quite as wide because of what McAfee's been doing. They ran it inside, and actually the quarterback got up in there and led the blocking.
2nd down and 5, Oilers. East Alton-Wood River with only 3 first downs. 2 of those came on that drive they had going on their second possession of the ball game, which ended in a fumble deep in Explorer territory. Tight formation, and here is the give to the fullback, and he has positive yard. Well, it's Doherty again, and Doherty takes it out to just shy of the 40. He's going to be about a foot shy of the first down. He needed to just cross the 40-yard line, and he's just shy of the 40-yard line. And his 3rd and less than a yard for the Oilers. Early third quarter action, Marquette with a 37-0 lead. 3rd and a foot, East Alton-Wood River, and here is the give to the fullback, and the fullback has the first down as he crossed the 40-yard line. He got a yard when he only needed a foot, and that was Zach Kincaid on the carry. And the 4th first down of the night for East Alton-Wood River.
That's something positive for the for the Oilers. They've stopped the Explorers. They got a first down now. It shows that they made some improvements at halftime, some adjustments. And for them, they just want that clock to run too and try to get some momentum on offense.
The clock rolling with 8:45 remaining in the third quarter. Marquette, a 37-point lead. The Oilers trying to get something moving here with the first down. Here is the give, and this time the tailback, and I think it's Womack that time. And Womack a couple of yards off tackle left. It was Womack, and
he had Bamper, 52 Bamper, 54 Angleton,
James Malone, a freshman.
Stopped him with a short gain.
Womack with a 1-yard gain. 2nd and 9 Oilers from their own 42-yard line. Marquette will come home next Friday night to play their homecoming game against Pawnee, a new entrant in the conference. And now Malone with a sack as he takes Wells down at the 33-yard line. No, it wasn't Malone. It was Kean Donovan that time. Donovan, a senior defensive lineman, and Kean Donovan in untouched on Wells. They give Wells forward progress out to the 35, a generous spot. And a loss of 7 on that sack.
Look for maybe a screen pass here. It's 3rd and 15, 3rd and 16. Screens usually draw.
Receivers left and right. Here's the pitch back, and Womack has some running room out to the right side. Loses the football, and the Explorers recover their 4th fumble of the night. So Womack picked up about 6 on the carry and then was hit. The ball popped out, and the Explorers covered it. I think it was Harvey Howell who got on top of it. And Marquette once again takes over in Oiler territory after the 4th East Alton-Wood River fumble of the night.
Well, and they had some momentum there. That was a nice gain. It wasn't going to get him the first down, but it looked like he was fighting for yardage, and the ball came loose.
Well, and that's a tough call, too. You hate to criticize a kid for getting extra yardage, but a lot of times that's when the fumbles happen, when you're kind of exposed and struggling for a little bit more, and somebody comes in and puts a helmet on the football. Here is Aguirre now running the option to the left side, keeps it himself, and takes it down to about the 35-yard line, a gain of 2, maybe 3 on the play. Depending upon the spot, they'll put it right at the 35, and we'll call it a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Well, it was a short out to the short side of the field. It was trips to the right side of the field, and Aguirre went to the left. He turned it up in. That was good coverage by the Oilers.
2nd down and a long 7 for Marquette. Trips to the right. That's the wide side of the field. A tight end to the left. And Terry in the backfield with Aguirre. Aguirre, 3-step drop, launches it deep down the right sideline. Howell is wide open. He's got it at the 10, hit at the 5, and dances into the end zone for the touchdown. A 35-yard touchdown pass from Trey Aguirre to Harvey Howell, and the Explorers are on the board again.
Well, it was a well-thrown ball by Aguirre. Howell had some steps on the one defender. It's hard to cover a kid like Howell one-on-one out there with that. This was the wide side of the field here. And he just launched it, Aguirre did, and it came down, and Howell danced into the end zone.
Howell's 2nd reception of the night. The first scoring play here in the second half. It comes with 6:19 remaining in the half. And Liam Mayher will attempt the extra point. Out of the hold of Aguirre, who gets it down. The kick is up, plenty high, plenty long, and it's plenty good. 6:19 remaining third quarter. The score now, the Explorers 44, the Oilers nothing. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.
What brand of vehicle do you drive? Ford, Chevy, Chrysler, GMC, Buick, Toyota? No matter what brand of vehicle you drive, Quick Lane at Roberts Motors can take care of your maintenance needs. And you don't need an appointment here, just drive on in. Need tires? No need to shop around. We have the lowest tire prices around, guaranteed. Stop in today and see why life truly is better in the quick lane. Or see us online at RiverBender.com.
Trey Aguirre has thrown 3 touchdown passes. He's rushed for 2 more. Completed 6 of 19 for 143 yards in those 3 touchdowns. And Liam Mayer will kick it off again. He's going to have a sore right leg when it's over with. And right through the hands of the Oiler deep man. He goes back and picks it up just in front of the goal line, and Womack takes it out to the 10-yard line, and then a flag is thrown. And I wonder if maybe the Explorer tackler may have gotten a hand on the face mask.
I think that was probably it. It was in on the tackle, and so it was.
And so the Oilers will get out of a hole here instead of starting from their own 10. They'll march off 15. I assume it was a personal foul. Well, we'll see. Now they only mark off 5, so it was just an incidental. And they put the football down at about the 17-yard line. 1st and 10 Oilers right there. Civic Memorial in Waterloo comes up next here on the Big Z. And then 2 high school games tomorrow beginning at noon. Alton and Granite City. You'll hear complete play-by-play coverage of that one. The Redbirds playing their homecoming game at Public School Stadium tonight against the Warriors. And then game 2 tomorrow, Greenville and Roxana, about 2:15 from the South Central Conference. Here's a give on an inside handoff on a bit of a counter, and a fullback has good yardage as he fights. Zach Kincaid takes it out to the 21-yard line. Or that was Daugherty again.
He lined up at the left wing back, and they brought him back through on an inside reverse, which Whitter's been running for years and years down here, and got pretty good yardage. Looks like there's some fresh jerseys in for the Explorers too.
Daugherty a gain of 4. For Marquette, I see Blake Terry, a 140-pound freshman back there as a defensive back. Pick up some of the other numbers as well. Now the Oilers run from the tight formation, 2nd and 6 from their own 22. And to give to the fullback, and he's got first down yardage and then some, out across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Again, that was Drayton Daugherty, and Daugherty picks up 11 and a first down for the Oilers.
Daugherty's a good-looking football player. You know, he's good size, 6'2", or 6'1", 180, a junior.
1st and 10 Oilers from their own 33. Again, they go from the double wing, double tight, and the pitch back to Daugherty trying to sweep the right side. Daugherty has some running room over there, cuts it back and takes it out across the 40. And a gain of about 7 on that carry for Drayton Daugherty. Gain of 8.
Chris Angleton on the stop for the Explorers, and 2nd and short for the Oilers.
2nd and 2, East Alton-Wood River from their own 41. The clock rolling with 3:15 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Marquette leading 44-0. And here's the give to one of the up-backs, and he just puts his head down and bowls over some tacklers. Takes it from his own 41 all the way out to the 49-yard line. A nice gain on that play again is Drayton Daugherty. And they're saying, we're going to ride this horse. Now he comes out. And another Oiler first down. Their 2nd of this possession. Their 6th of the game.
Daugherty's had a good series here, number 1, for sure. He's, like I said before, he's a good-looking young athlete. Plays both sides of the line, as many of the Oilers are doing.
Now a give. This time I think it's Zach Kincaid, one of the up-backs, and he gains a yard out to midfield before a host of Explorer tacklers wrapped him up. 2nd down and 9, Oilers.
Donovan in on the tackle for the Explorers that time. 2nd and 9. Let's see if the Oilers stay with the run.
That was Brett Nicolini, new into the lineup for the Oilers. And he gained a yard. On the 2nd down play, the pitch back, and here's another new player into the ball game, and Brady McAfee wraps him up. And then some of his teammates come in and finish him off. That was Nicolini once again, or no. May have been Darius Clark. I'm not sure. They've got so many new players into the game. So the Oilers taking this opportunity to give some younger kids a chance to play.
Well, McAfee was in there, but Xavier Jones came in, 5'8", 155-pound sophomore, 51 for the Explorers, and finished the tackle off.
So now 3rd and long Oilers, 3rd and 15 from their own 44-yard line. Down to 1:20 remaining here in the fourth quarter, and the Oilers want a timeout. 1:17, I said the fourth quarter, it's the third quarter. 1:17 remaining in the third quarter, 44-0. Marquette leads the Oilers. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.
Dad, the toilet's clogged again.
Ruderman to the rescue. We'll clean any drain, anytime, anywhere. Ruderman is your locally owned and operated plumbing and drain cleaning company. We're friendly, fast, and reliable. Ruderman takes the extra steps to protect your home while providing stellar 24-hour emergency superhero service with hometown pricing. So for plumbing repairs, drain cleaning, water heaters, filtration systems, or just when your house pipes are in trouble, call Ruderman.
Action from Wood River. Marquette leading the Oilers 44-0, and it's 3rd and 15 Oilers. Wells back to throw and just launches it deep down the right sideline, hoping somebody could run under it. And Joel Bisk was the Oiler receiver down that right sideline, but it was thrown about 8 yards out and ahead of him. And it's going to bring about a punting situation for East Alton-Wood River. The freshman punter, Justin Engler, in there. Back deep for Marquette, Blake Terry, along with Davian Peebles, I believe. They stand at their own 25, awaiting this kick. And it's angled towards the far sideline and goes out of bounds, and the Explorer offense will come onto the field. But we will not have another play here in the third quarter. The final seconds will roll off, and we will move on to the fourth quarter once they change ends of the field. At the end of 3 quarters, it's Marquette 44, the Oilers nothing. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.
We're always looking for better ways to do things, but with some banks, better for them isn't always better for you.
You've reached Megabank. Press 1 to hear your current balance. Press 2 to hear these options again.
Introducing free Kasasa checking. When you do stuff for us, like swipe your debit card or get e-statements, we make it even better for you with cash back and refunds on ATM fees. Kasasa, carried locally at Liberty Bank. Do you, Kasasa?
12 minutes on the fourth quarter clock, and it will run off in pretty much real time. Clock will only stop for timeouts, for injuries, and after scoring plays, so it won't be long, and Marquette will put its second victory into the books, and the Oilers will try and figure out whether they're going to have a game next week or not. They're supposed to be home next Friday night for their homecoming game against Metro East Lutheran, but the Knights have forfeited each of the last 2 weeks, last week and again this week, because they just don't have enough players to compete.
McAfee at quarterback.
Brady McAfee with a pair of receivers to each side of the field. 1st and 10 Marquette from their own 24. And here's the handoff, and nothing doing on that one. Davian Peebles thrown down for a loss. And we've got a lot of backups in there. Andrew Angleton, number 75, a freshman in there on the offensive line. Marshall Youngblood, a sophomore on the offensive line. And lots of young players in the skill positions as well. Not that the line doesn't require skill, but
right.
You don't handle the football.
No, they never.
At least you're not supposed to.
They never want to put the names on the linemen's backs, that's for sure.
2nd down and 15, Explorers, and now McAfee drops to throw, and he's hitting the backfield, and he just keeps breaking tackles, and you really hope he goes down so he doesn't get hurt, but man, he took nothing and turned it into about an 8-yard gain, as he was just hit time and again by Oilers. He looked like one of those weebles. He just kept wobbling but never went down.
Yeah, he is a fine athlete, and, you know, as you look at the Explorers, they've got the seniors they have are pretty solid. There's some on the front line, linebacker, Holtz obviously, but Hall's a junior. So the Explorers are not only just playing for this year, but they're also playing for their future.
So now 3rd and 11 Explorers from their own 23-yard line, and McAfee runs the option to the right side, turns it upfield himself, takes it out to the 25-yard line, a gain of 2, and now the Explorers will, well, I thought they'd send a punting team on, but I think they're just going to keep the offense out there. Probably figuring, well, they stay out there because the punter's already on the field. I'm not sure if that's Liam Mayhair back there. It might be number 1. Let's see if we can pick up the number. At any rate, Marquette will punt. It was Mayhair, and he gets a nice kick away. It bounces into Oiler territory inside the 40, down to the 38-yard line, and with 9:29 remaining, the Oilers will take over there. With Marquette leading 44-0. We'll name our quality GMCars.com drive of the game, following the game, and also our Munganast Alton Toyota player of the game. And Explorers have a number of contenders. Trey Aguirre, who's thrown 3 touchdown passes and scored 2 rushing touchdowns. You could you'd probably put Danny Holtz on that list. Probably put Harvey Howell on that list. And I think you could put Brady McAfee on that list as a possible player of the game, just based upon the strong performance he's had at that linebacker position tonight.
Well, it's one of those nights where you can spread that, or, you know, that player of the game is, normally those go to offensive players. It's just the nature of what happens. And those offensive players have been solid. Aguirre has played a really good game as the starting quarterback. Holtz is money. Aguirre's been special tonight.
Wells rolls to his left, lets it go downfield. It's incomplete. Well, it's Justin Engler now at quarterback, the freshman. So Engler took that snap from the quarterback position and threw an incomplete pass out to the left side. It'll be 2nd and 10 Oilers. The line of scrimmage, their own 34 after a penalty while we were promoting the player of the game there. The Oilers had a illegal procedure penalty, just their 4th penalty of the night. And now Engler once again back to throw. Lets it go out to the right side. He's got his man out at the 40-yard line, making the reception. Another freshman, Hunter Hall. On the coverage for Marquette, Dante Glasper. And all 3 of those guys are freshmen. And a gain of 6 on that completion.
Well, it was a nice throw by the quarterback, nice reception. 3rd and 9 now for the Explorers, or for the Oilers.
The clock rolling with 7:05 remaining in the 4th quarter. Marquette's lead is 44-0. The Explorers will improve to 2-1 in the Prairie State Conference. And here's a sweep to the left side and lots of running room for the Oiler running back. He's brought down out at the 47-yard line. Chandler Eckhoff with the run. He's a sophomore, 5'5", 160. And he picked up about 6 on that carry, and it's going to be 4th and 3 Oilers.
Well, and the tackle, a good open field tackle by an Explorer freshman, Cameron Rainey, number 33, saved the first down.
So Engler, the freshman quarterback, brings the team to the line of scrimmage. Receivers left and right, and the give right up the middle to Doherty. And Doherty fighting for yardage, and he's going to have a first down out to midfield. Looked like he was going to be stopped short. He needed 3, and he got 4.
a real gutsy effort by Doherty. His legs kept churning the entire way. Good effort for him. There's no quitting that young man.
Drayton Doherty picks up the first down for East Alton-Wood River. The ball at midfield and the clock rolling with 5:45 remaining. Waterloo and Civic Memorial up next from the Mississippi Valley Conference. Trips to the right side for the Oilers. Two more receivers wide left, but a little confusion in there, and the Oilers call a timeout. You're in tune to WBGZ Alton, just shy of the 9 o'clock hour, and we'll return to Memorial Stadium, where the Marquette Explorers lead the East Alton-Wood River Oilers 44-0. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.
It's the final play of the game. Down by 4, Andes will need to score to win it. The quarterback lines up, ball is snapped. It's a handoff. He breaks outside of the tackle. He's got daylight. He could go all the way. Touchdown! Andes wins.
You too can score a touchdown at Andy's Auto Sales.
Check out the all-star lineup at Andy's Auto Sales today.
At the 40, down to the 39-yard line. Zach Womack, an 11-yard gain, and another first down for the Oilers, their 8th of the night.
Good play. They opened it up. Good run inside the Explorer 40-yard line.
Inside of 5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Receivers left and right. Justin Engler, the freshman quarterback, with Doherty behind him. And they give it to the wing, coming to the left side, and a nice run there. And about 8 yards on the carry for Chandler Eckhoff. And Eckhoff has some speed. He hit that hole fast and picked up 8.
It's a good run. 3rd and 2 now for the Oilers, just outside the 30-yard line of the Explorers with 4:20 to go in the fourth quarter.
I think it's actually second down. Now a fumble as they had a mismatch on the exchange, and did the Oilers cover it? They did. They're going to put 4th down on the marker on the far side.
I think it's 3rd down also.
I do too. I think they messed it up over on the far sideline. The scoreboard
now says 4th down.
Now says 4th down as well, but. Well, regardless, the Oilers, with 3:28 and counting remaining, come to the line of scrimmage. Trips to the right side. Another receiver wide left, Justin Engler. In the backfield all by himself. He wanted to roll right. Now he takes off, runs for his life to the left as he was under pressure. Chasing him for the Explorers was Jaron Ehlers, a freshman linebacker. And a motion penalty against the Oilers. The Explorers will decline it. And Marquette will take over on downs as the clock ticks inside of 3 minutes remaining.
Well, I think the highlight for the Oilers is that the person who won the 50-50 just donated it back to the Oiler Booster Club. So that $180 will help.
One of these days, maybe they donate it to us.
It'd be all right. That'd be good.
I don't know why they do that, but I'd enjoy it. All right, down to 2:20 and counting remaining, and that clock just continues to tick even as the players from each side change from offense to defense and vice versa. And the Explorers put a pair of receivers to each side of the field. Brady McAfee calls out the signals, takes the snap, turns, hands it off, and the Explorers fumble it. The Oilers pick it up. And the Explorers have committed their first turnover of the night.
Well, the Oilers get the ball back now with a minute 50 to go in the fourth quarter, and they'll get one more chance to score.
Marquette's first turnover of the night. And now the Oiler offense will go right back to work.
The last couple series, the freshman quarterback has moved them pretty well.
Justin Engler, 5'8", 140. Put a man in motion, that's Eckhoff, and hand him the football, and Eckhoff has some running room around the left side. A flag is thrown. And that's likely to be against the Oilers. Call that one back, and by the time they sort it out and mark it off, and both teams huddle up, we'll be down to, well, we're ticking inside of 1 minute right now.
Well, Sam, I think you'd have to say the Explorers were ready to play, came out, and in a game like this, you got to win the early part of the game. And once you win the early part of the game, it's hard for the Oilers to come back. And so it's a good effort for the Marquette Explorers tonight here in Wood River.
Oilers were left and right, 1st and 15, down to 33 seconds remaining. A little swing out to the right side to Doherty, and Doherty has some running space out there. Inside the 30, down to the 25, on his feet at the 20, and finally tackled there. A gain of 18 on that little dump pass.
Well, it was a little dump pass, and Doherty's had a really good second half for the Oilers. He broke several tackles that time. We're inside 15 seconds now, and the clock is running.
Probably the last snap of the ball game right here for the Oilers at the Marquette 20. Doherty back to throw, or Engler back to throw. Lets it go down the middle into the end zone. Incomplete. The final seconds tick off, and this game is final. It's the Explorers 44, the Oilers nothing. Back to wrap it up in just a moment. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.